Next, we will have the identity property of addition and identity property of multiplication. Addition. A example, 15 plus 0 is equals to 15. B, 0 plus negative 8 is equals to a negative 8. So here we will have for any integer a plus 0 is equals to a. The sum of any number in 0 will always be equal to the number. The identity element of addition here is 0. So when you add any numbers to 0, the result is that number. Next, multiplication property under identity. 32 times 1 is equals to 32. 1 times negative 15 is equals to negative 15. So different sign when you have to multiply, the result is negative. Same also in division. When you divide, the result is always negative and you will have different sign multiply. For any integers a times 1 is equals to a. The product of any number and 1 will always be equal to the number. The identity element of multiplication is 1. So, can you see the difference between the two operations? In addition, when you say identity element, that is 0. Why? Because any number added to 0, the result is that number. In multiplication naman, any number multiplied to 1, the result is that number. So, 32 times 1 is equal to 32. The identity element of multiplication is 1. So you take note of that or remember of it. Next. Let's proceed to the additive inverse property of addition and the additive inverse property of multiplication. In addition, a 10 plus the negative 10 is equals to 0. B, negative 2 plus 2 is equals to 0. So for any integer a plus the negative a is equals to 0. The opposite of the given integer is called its additive inverse. The sum of a number and its additive inverse is 0. Meaning to say, you get the inverse or the opposite of positive 10 is negative 10. The result is always 0. So any number, as long as that is the opposite, the result is always 0 when you add. That is the additive inverse, which is 0. Here in multiplication, 3 times the quantity of 1/3, that is equal to 1. B, negative 5 times negative 1/5, that is always equals to 1. Why? The reciprocal of the given integer is called its multiplicative inverse. The product of a number and its multiplicative inverse is 1. Why? What is the reciprocal of 3? 1/3. Why is it, ma'am? 3 here is the numerator and the denominator is 1. So when you get the inverse, that is 1 over 3 or 1/3. So when you multiply, what is our rules in multiplication of fraction with whole number? Multiply the whole number to the numerator, then copy the denominator. So 3 times 1 is 3 over 3. So that is when you simplify, 3 over 3 is equals to 1. Did you get it? Next, letter B. Negative 5 times negative 1 is positive 5 over the denominator of 5. So 5 over 5 is equals to 1. That is the simple explanation for you to understand. Okay, next topic, we will have the zero property of multiplication. Example, letter A. The quantity of negative 98 or negative 98 multiplied to 0, the result is always 0. Letter B, 0 times 12, the result is always 0. So for any integer a times 0 is equals to 0. Any number multiplied by 0, the result is always 0. So that's it. Zero property of multiplication. Another one, distributive property of multiplication over addition. So A, 6 times the quantity 4 plus 8 is equals to, you distribute the first term to 6. So 6 times 4 plus, you will have here the plus sign. So distribute again this last term or the second term of your 4 plus 8. So 6 times 8. So when you simplify, 4 plus 8 is 12. So 6 times 12 is equal to 17 here. 6 times 4 is equals to 24 plus 6 times 8 is equals to 48. So when you multiply 6 times 12, that is 72. Here, 24 times 24 plus 48 is equals to 72. Continuation of distributive property of multiplication over addition. B. The negative 5 multiplied to the quantity of negative 3 plus 10 is equals to, distribute again the negative 5 to the two addends. Negative 5 times negative 3 plus negative 5 times positive 10 or 10. So, negative 5 here on the left side, you add negative 3 plus 10. Different sign in addition, subtract. Copy the sign of the bigger number. So, negative 3 plus 10 is equals to 7. Then, here on the right side, negative 5 times negative 3. The result of two like numbers when you multiply is positive. So, negative 5 times negative 3 is positive 15 plus negative 5 times 10, that is different sign, is equals to negative 50. So, going back to the left side of our equation or equal sign, negative 5 times 7 is equals to negative 35. Then, on the right side, we will going to simplify. 15 plus negative 50, the bigger number, the sign of the bigger number is negative. So, you affix the negative sign, then subtract. 50 minus 15 is 35. So, the result does not affect. Negative 35 is equals to negative 35. What is our rule? In any integers, A, B, and C, A times the quantity of B plus C is equals to, distribute the A to the addends of the under the quantity or inside the quantity. AB plus AC. Adding first before multiplying or distributing the factor to each addend will give the same result. So that is the distributive property of multiplication over your addition. I hope you will understand. So you repeat that and repeat until you get the or master our property. Let's proceed to our modules. E-learning task 2. Complete the following to make true statements. Then determine the property applied. Number 1, 18 plus 6. So I answered that for you. That is your bonus answer. Number 1 is equals to 6 plus 18. That is what property? Under commutative property of addition. Number 2, negative 40 plus what number you're going to add to negative 40 to get the result of 0. So the additive inverse. Since this is negative 40, so you have here positive 40. And what the property is that? Again, additive inverse property. 3, 4, 5 until 10 will be the one to answer. Happy learning. Next. Welcome back. Letter A, the learning task 3 is problem solving. Identify the property being used in each situation, then express the statement in mathematical form. Number 1 problem. I go to the store and buy instant noodles for 7 and 75 pesos, can of sardines for 16 pesos, and 2 sachets of coffee for 12 and 25 pesos. 12.25 pesos. How much money do I need to pay? So, all you have to do is to add 7.75 pesos, or can of sardines, for 16, then 2 sachets, so you multiply 2 times 12.25. Then add the result of it, so you check the answer if it is correct. How much money do I need to pay? Okay, then what property is that? You will have here the closure property of addition, and the other one is 2 times 12.25 is the closure property under multiplication. You do the number 2 problem. Okay, happy learning everyone and God bless.